I want to talk about conspiracy theories and all that. The main thing is that the world is not a perfect place. Authority is not always right, and the decisions made collectively by society are not always good decisions.
You're paralyzed, be your disguise. You feed on the lies.
If I say a bank ripped me off, people are like, no, the bank would never rip anybody off. It's all in your head. Like, why? Why are you so convinced? See, they talk about I'm a crazy person because they write everything off as a conspiracy theory, or I think the world's against me. But I'm very rational. Everything I say is based on evidence and things I see and things I know and logic. When someone tells me that the bank would never rip anybody off, that's faith.
You feed on the lies that they tell you.
Do something because they want to believe it. I'm like, yes, banks do rip people off, credit cards do rip people off. There's a lot of unjust things that happen in the world. The government does a lot of things that is not right or doesn't make sense. And a lot of it is not a conspiracy against you. It's just that the system is not perfect, and there are idiots in the system and just people who don't care. So that's where a lot of it comes
believe
from.
that they would never lie.
I will
You
say,
believe that they would never rig the game.
Right,
You
the
believe
water
that they
is
would
bad
never
for you.
lie.
Don't
You
drink it.
believe because you're weak.
crazy.
Can't you see that
Oh,
you're
if it was
weak?
bad for me, they would never put it in the water. That sometimes they used to tell you that smoking was good for you. Just 100 years ago, they said smoking was good for you. And if you said, hey, I don't think a cigarette's healthy, it makes me cough.
You believe
Oh,
in
no, they're
the lies
conspiracy
that
theorists
they
and,
tell you.
That's the thing. I talk to people and they're the ones acting crazy, but they don't see it because they just follow the crowd. If everybody jumps off of a bridge, they're going to jump too. Like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist if you think that jumping off a bridge is going to harm you. And they jump to their death. That's just where I'm coming from for the most part. Anytime I just casually mention stuff to people, fluoride lowers IQ. Oh, you just read something online and it's not true and you're watching InfoWars. I'm like, here's a Harvard University study that, along with other prominent universities that say drinking fluoride has a negative effect on cognitive health. And so,
Open your
one of the things I
eyes.
talk about is that
Yeah.
basically people
Open
with
your
wealth and power,
eyes.
not everybody, but a lot of them are going to try to keep that wealth and power and keep you down. So in other words, let's say you get a job at McDonald's. Do you think that the general manager is going to say, hey Joe, you got a job at McDonald's, and I notice you're really smart, and you know what? You're smarter than me. I want you to take my job. I'm going to train you how to be a general manager. I'm going to teach you how to be successful. Here's my resignation. I'm doing what's best for the company. I'll be in the unemployment line. Here, you got my job now. Do you think someone's really going to do that? Or do you think they're going to say, hey, this guy's smarter than me, but I'm going to try to keep him down. I'm going to try to keep him flipping burgers or get him to quit his job because I'm going to look out for myself. I got power, and I'm using that power to benefit myself and not necessarily what's good for the company, not necessarily what's good for you, the little guy. Video by saying that, and that happens in the government. Tell someone that they're being lied to. Socially, it happens with education. You're a conspiracy theorist. No one would ever lie to me. Authority's always right. I say, look, someone scams you. This bank's running a scam. This credit card company is dishonest. The CEO rips off his employees. It's a conspiracy theory. They're putting fluoride in the water, which is unhealthy, It's a conspiracy theory. It's not a theory, it's not a conspiracy, nor is it a theory. Fluoride in the water is not a conspiracy. As far as that goes, it's not a secret, That's a thing. But people have faith. It's just because they're weak people. They want to have faith that the world works correctly because they don't want to take responsibility for themselves. And this is what I mean when I talk about losers. If you want to be in Hofstra society, or if you want to deal with me personally, be my friend, or even have a conversation with me, you have to approach it as a winner. You have to approach it as a wolf, not as a sheep. So when I say, hey, this guy's going to try to rip you off, say, okay, I'll be on the lookout for it, you know? If I say, hey, this is being done, this is being put in your food, it's not healthy, just try to avoid it if you can. If you're unsure whether I'm correct or not, research it further. But the attitude I get from people is they assume that I'm a loser from the get-go. They don't know anything about me. If I talk to someone on the internet, it's a loser conversation. If I type on the internet, hey, fluoride's bad for you, that's a conspiracy theory and you're dumb and you're just going to crazy websites. Why don't you take anything I say seriously? Why not research it yourself? I mean, this is legitimate research by Harvard University and stuff that says, you know, fluoride's bad for you. But they just assume that a random guy on the internet is a moron, that everybody's a moron except for authority. If someone's not rich or not powerful or doesn't have an authoritative title, then they must be an idiot, you know. And that's this weak mindset where they rely on authority. They rely on people with wealth or power to tell them what to do, to tell them what reality is, to tell them the story of their lives. And that's what a sheep is. Meh, meh, meh. You know, the sheep is baba, conspiracy theory, conspiracy theory. You know, anytime you ask the sheep to act like a real man or a real woman, you know, like I say, a wolf or a leader or a winner, they can't do it. And they just get upset and they crawl into their little shell. It's conspiracy theory. So, you know, I just ask people, if you want to talk to me or associate with me or be in my group, you have to be willing to realistically assess information. Now, most of the time, the school is going to tell you you're going to learn things that are true in school. Most of the time, people are honest. Most of the time, rule of law exists. Most of the time, the government's doing the right thing and they're going to work towards your own benefit. But to believe that nobody ever lies to you, that nothing the school teaches would ever be wrong, and that the government would never do anything wrong, it would never lie to its people, and no one would ever rip you off, and everything told to you is always correct, and authority is always right, and everything that's on TV must be true. If you have that mindset, you're an idiot. I mean, it's a weak mindset. So if I say, hey, the TV lied to you, you're a conspiracy theorist, you know. Hey, you know, something the school taught you was not true, and they're doing that to manipulate you. You're a conspiracy theorist, it can't be true. You know, I'm not saying that the world is one big conspiracy. I'm not saying that the world is a bad place, but at least some of the time, there are conspiracies. At least some of the time, there are people that will use and abuse you. At least some of the time, there are people in authority who will lie to you. And you just have to accept that. That's part of being a responsible citizen, or taking responsibility for your life. And in Judaism, there's a concept called tikkun olam or something like that, which means repairing the world. And it's a similar concept. You know, maybe the world is 99% perfect, but it's never going to be 100% perfect. Because a lot of people are going to say, oh, you're just negative, you think the world's a horrible place and you need to repair it. No, I mean, I'm not saying the world is bad. I'm saying that bad things do happen. It may be good overall. Most people may be honest. Most of your interactions may be good. But at least some of the time, you have to be on the lookout for lies and deception, or things that may be bad for you, or people that want to use and abuse you, you know. And I'm basically trying to teach you in my videos how to be a winner. And people I deal with, they all act like losers, you know. 99% of them act like losers. And most of my videos, I'm just trying to teach people to think like a winner. And it's just a basic mentality, you know. Either you have it or you don't. I'm not here to argue with you. Thank you.